YA. The energetic pull meant I'd only pull through if I pulled away from you and everything we've been through. I never doubted you for a second. I called in your every prayer. I asked God for all your blessings. I took time with all the hurt. I chose you when you chose her. I made you number one, but you never put me first. I wasn't who I am now. I questioned who I was then. I took myself apart that year. I'll never fall that low again. Addict. That idea of your love would make me mad. It would drive me to obsession. Gotta have it. Now the type of love I feel, I can't fathom. You see, patience to me means trusting in God. And while I was praying with thanks, you were playing with lust. Fighting love, just keep fighting love. Fighting me was always fighting us. It's my fault. I accept it. I poured into you without second guessing. I gave you my heart so I couldn't protect it. Too focused on attending to you for attention. So I ignored when my spirit felt starved of affection. Ignored when I stood in rooms of your next ting. Told myself I'd win in the end if I showed patience. But if you don't feel safe, it gets hard pretending. So I'd watch how you treat me. Ask if you wanted to keep me. Ask if your love could complete me or if I had to compete. See, I love God completely. So I swore he made us divine. And I thought if I tried, if I gave up my time, then I'd pour out my love and maybe you wouldn't mind. So if I poured out enough, you could be mine. And you wanted a ride or die. And I was so honored to be by your side. I never asked why. I never questioned if the measure of my presence in your life meant the measure was my time. Or the reason for the ride. You see, if everything aligned, why would I ever leave your side? You see, I'd never leave your side if loving you was right. I'd love you past our deaths, I'd love you in another life, and then I'd love you for all time. Flesh of flesh I couldn't hide. If I was in your heart, then I'd always be inside, sowing seeds, enjoying life. I wanted so much to be a wife. I said sowing seeds, enjoying life. I wanted so much to be a wife. You see, to someone out there, I'm worth the fight. Worth taking out and loving right. Worth praying for and holding tight. Worth loving on and treating right. To the right man, I'm worth courting. Building trust, putting my all in. Checking in, calling, being myself, unashamed to fall in love. To the right man, I'll affirm his faith. We'll praise God together and keep praying. I'll take on his load and ease his pain. Hear him out, take his name. I'll remind him he's anointed. Mine by God's appointment. So in all my disappointment, I found my faith was calling. Sometimes I think our challenge is a test for God to see if we'll love him in the same way when we're in pain or angry. Sometimes I think the answers are too much to fathom logically. So until then, I'll try not to question him and I'll take time loving me. So you can find me in the gym, sweating out the sin, trying to find a link between the lessons and the gin. Lessons for my kin, working for the win, searching deep within. I've been balancing therein, more than yang and yin, more than looking thin, more than all the things that I stored beneath my skin. I went to war with who I'd been. Took my thoughts on what I think, what I brought and what I bring, and then it brought me to the brink, like dive right in. Now I fly right in. Strive, I'm on a striving thing, a writing thing. Relax your mind and think. Back to the way I wandered away, I fell straight down, scared of the ground. I can still hear the sound of his voice when I bounce. See, I called out, I pronounced my prayers out loud, and words impacted my land. They turned that tarmac to hands, surroundings to sand. He turned my tears to a river and I swam through. He whispered in my ear, I will catch you. He told me, hold out your hand. He said, hold you. And I dispersed with that pollen and that blossom that he sent to carry me through. Saying prayers I knew I had fought through, defiant and true. I stood there in that mirror like, yeah, I fought you. Now I call to you, draw to you. My fall to you is a memory for you to resort to. So I can think of flashbacks, trap that location and map that place, it out back. See, I see it now. And I've got to keep a certain energy to keep it now. It's deeper now. I've got to plant on a higher level just to reap it now. I seek it out. That seed of doubt is what I speak about. Now I'm involved. I've evolved. I've resolved. My story's told. I will grow old. Loving me. Lovingly. Love and see. Hide and seek. Find and speak. My depths are deep. My soul's been weak, but my mind is free. See, these pages keep the very heart of me. I wholeheartedly give. Please receive. All praise be to the creator of me, because it might not be clear to see, but it's personal to me. My reflection's a reaction as an action, as I mentioned my resentment when I'd consider my sentence on my mind's death row. Broken glass tiptoes, under feet although I'd walk fast and slow, 100-20, I know I now owe so much more to myself than an apology. So I utilize my pain anthology. So I'm one in a meal anomaly, I'm centered and still, I solemnly dare to speak honestly of my peak. Now I'm free. Now I'm freed, please heed my need for you to feel love and peace just like me. Because although my words scream, acknowledge me, and my socials are set for you to follow me. That time, that year, I could hardly breathe. And all I really mean is just stop and see how you can change your point of view. Because I was feeling nostalgic. Over days, I thought I was about it. I used to walk around with those who couldn't doubt it. My self-esteem was like a light beam. It'd beam in your eyes, making you blind. My light so bright, people used to stop in their tracks as they stopped in my sight. I'd smile and walk by. At that very time when my very existence had no resistance. If people thought I was different, it's because I knew I was gifted. Young and ambitious. Back then it was ridiculous. Sometimes I write so well, even I got suspicious. Don't get it twisted. Now we're 10 years on, and while my confidence is back, that kind of level's gone. Life came and took it. I put it back on my wish list. I had to go through things that made me pessimistic. I could have been a cynic, cold and ungiven. I apologized to God to ask for forgiveness. He had it scripted. I never listened. I'd only feel it, but 10 years on, it's got me strong in my realness. Yeah, I'm a realist. Realists will feel this. I stay one by myself because I know what the deal is. His words will heal it. My words will seal it. Certain times it's the iron from bad minds that will steal it. You see, I've been broke. And I don't mean broke as a joke when you're out with your friends and you're drinking the mixer, hoping they missed your last round because you're down to your last pound. Can't even buy your own round to wash down the last as they laugh from the last topic that they shout because you're out but you can't leave now. No. I'm talking about the kind of broke you can't take to the shop and top up for hot water. But you need hot water. So you resort to kettle. Water washes. It's a lot. When your plans for life stop still, it's a stop still. Still you don't stay still. I remember how I'd feel. Now I recall those times at my will. Now I love those occasions. They're my motivation and my past pain and the now in the making. I remember claiming this little girl in my face and how my whole life changed overnight on that day I had nothing to give her. I cried me a river. Now I smile inside because I know I deliver. I'll never go back there. Back when I couldn't even afford to plait her hair. Back when Kaylee had me on the sofa, gave me her comb and said, Yasmin, here. I remember right there, nothing but pain that year. I remember right there, I learned about patience. I learned about creation. Nothing to my name, but times are changing. I don't feel like a failure, so I'm not failing. There's no way, it's hard to explain. It's quite complicated. Just know in this life, I'm going to make it. I depend on my dependents. My legacy is this, so it can't be suspended for my descendants. Shout out to pretend friends that kind of had me round on a weekend on a pretense for information. You see, I'd help with their dissertation. I would work on that thing like it was for my graduation. Now we're estranged and you can walk past her. Hit me back on your masters. My words are art. I gotta be smart. I talk from my heart. I learn from my past. I respect myself. It's been a long time coming, but I protect myself. I control my emotions so I don't upset myself. And you stand on the stage so I don't neglect myself. This is for my health. This is for me time. This is for an outlet. This is for an insight. This is to explore my enlightenment. I love the wordplay. I love the words and play with the words as a words play out in verse day. Change, rearrange and emerge in a new way. Add, rehearse, say back the verse like the liner in my purse. Carry new lines, come with one-liners. Transcend the light, I can transform your mind. This appreciation. And some of the best lyrics I ever wrote because of him and I made them. 5:30 a.m. standing there waiting with a flow so strong. I would train at that station. Determination. I memorized the whole thing. And then I stood on flow stage like, why are we waiting? I can't contain it. I need to say it. Dive right in. Now we fly right in. Strive, I strive. I'm on a striving thing. Writing thing. Relax your mind and think. Back to the way I wandered away. I fell straight down. Scared of the ground. I can still hear the sound of his voice when I bounce. See, it's interesting. Often the same people you let in without vetting are the ones with the bad intentions. If your heart's clean and your thoughts are pure, someone welcomes you in their life, that's a blessing. Don't ever mistake it. Too often it's a mistake to be misunderstood and then disrespected. I've accepted. People operate on more than just emotions. I'm learning my lessons every day like I accept that. And my heart is still open. I'm no one's victim, no one's owner. We're each responsible for our own actions. If you took it too far, own up. People mess up, I'm with it. Sometimes a real test of our character is based on forgiveness. As God is my witness, I get it. My heart's clean and my thoughts are pure, so to let go is a given. I just write about my experience. That's my thing. So you got to give me a minute. Sometimes I got to be like, listen, you don't know me. Like, with all due respect, you know a particular persona I deliberately show at a show or on road, but you're not in my home, so never think that you know when you don't know me. Like, oh, you thought because of that time, or because of that line, or because I am nice, that's all right, you could try to control me. I'm not fake. Don't mistake my politeness for meekness, my kindness for weakness, my levels of deepness, my mentors are genius. I've got commitments to issues that affect this whole world if we're talking about circles. I've got seeds that were planted and watered on dirt that deemed me too dirty for my dirt to ever be considered fertile. Like, my shoots could never grow. Like, when I shoot my shot, I'll never know. Had to keep my light bright enough or let the light shine enough to let the shine brighten up the seeds I've already sown. It's like I could never show how I've grown up and owned up to this thrown stuff on my own stuff. If I show up, when I show up for my glow up and I blow up, then you all know. Then you all know. Who's really down and who's down for the really? Who's riding for me and who's riding with me? Who clicks to applause me and who pauses to click me? Who's down for the sure but not sure for the really? Who understands my cause? Who wants to throw me off course? Who wants to grow the discord? Who wants to highlight my flaws? Who wants to stir in my sauce? Who wants to tell me of course? Who wants to see me take flights but then hate when we soar? You see, he said you walk the front line patiently. Now it's time to pray with me blatantly. You know you're there in my prayers, you stay with me. I must stop asking myself to forgive me. I mean, I seek more than the light dwelling within me. I seek more than poetry in these lines when I rhyme and I verse with no false idols. I do not write for my purse to swell like my eyes do. After I cry when they've lied and I seek truth, I'm not behind if I'm walking within you. King you used to be kindred to the Most High, they're in you. Sin you, lay your life on the line like you're next of kin to. Carry this legacy. I guess I bring the energy. We were not meant to be words heaven sent for me. I grew up in these streets. I go hard for my free daughters. I scribe for them to smile with laughter. I rise each time I falter. I lit candles that day for the peace to remain and the way to be paved and the pace to behave. As I wake and I pray, I give thanks for each day, for my goals and my pain. If it means they are saved, they will never seek a father in their partner. They will not ignore the signs in designer. I scribe for everything they've ever been deprived of. I only have one goal to go after. I got kickback, setbacks, left out, left that, let in, let out, within, without, in, out, let down, so down, cried out, slow down, grow crown, so now I got kickback, setbacks, left out, left that, let in, let out, within, without, in, out, let down, so down, cried out, slow down, grow crown, so now I'm found, give thanks, I'm out of order. I remember killing myself just to claim bricks and mortar, diving inside just to find I am water. They can't hold on to an old hell that they sell like it's freedom. So I had to fall down just to drown deeper meaning. And I prayed to him to reveal my path for healing. And then I cried me a river, so I'm not one for streaming. But feelings, they have you telling yourself that there's a hell in yourself when you're selling yourself short of helping yourself. And I would never handle arguments the way I did back then, back when I had backache from traveling, with this straddling my abdomen, carrying a bag of sins to transcend good from bad things. I was praying hard but stammering. My load was like the darkness brings a heavy load. I'm managing to manage man while fathoming the famishing, the damage in, the damaged things, the damages, the damaged land, the damaged kings, the damaged line, the damaged kin. I searched ether. I scoured the cowards, I chased creatures. I moved heaven and earth from beneath us to make space safer, main maze to maintain the mainframe so they stay away. They see no trails from new planes that sustain a path made to make change but not reach us. You see, even those with the greatest knowledge can feel the greatest woes and not teach us. You see, even those with the strongest strength can set intent and try to keep us, but even those with a wrath of hate could try to emulate but not beat us. I've seen pious men. I've seen teachers preach thus. Prayer and speech does hold power enough to defeat, but take heed. You can't believe just to see we cannot be thee. Once a reap seeds that form trees, we can just be, breathe, dig deep, be us. You got to see the light in the fixtures, the writing in scriptures. You have to mix up their mixtures just to size up their pictures as fictitious. You see, I turned when it turned malicious. Villains so vividly vicious. Sometimes they lied so well, even I got suspicious. I got missions. I got insights and now I got visions. I got my mind's eye to remind my decisions aren't even decisions. If we, in this existence, are only persistent to our main resistance of actually living, I wonder how many clenched fists would give in if we gave in to giving. So this is not a sinful. This is not a send for. If you already feel away, there's no need to feel offense for this. It's not a send for. I just want to mend more. Asking who I mend for and what my service renders. What has been pretense or why did they pretend for? What that would present or why I'd need pretense for. You see, it's more than what I meant on the day I knew it meant more. It's what I represent and I choose to feel is splendor. I know just cause, not just cause. It's more than what we call for. It's all life after death. I'm on a quest. I seek more. All the triggers feel mental, like this war's just in the physical. Spirit to flesh, I accept this war's spiritual. I walk with the Lord most high. Most time I try to do right, but sometimes I find inside I'm quite cynical. I ask why my life means I write, why I try, why I'm lyrical. Then I realign my head high. I know why. I've seen miracles. So how do I affect more? What is my intent for? I mean, I represent cool, but why is it I'm mental? What do I defend or why do I think to that extent for? If I know your intent's off, why would I extend more? What am I against or what am I for or what was I before or what led me to my downfall, what led me to my cause? What is it I'm for? Do I seek a cure? Am I complete and sure or do I seek applause? Why seek at all? I only seek the Lord, so I speak at all. What is it I called for? What is it I'm called for? Aura, orator, all for my creator. For faith I take a stand to understand what I stand for. Just to know firsthand, the first hand was handed first by the one who made all. So I choose to stand tall. So it's all I fall for. I put my all, I recall, I give my altar. Everything I altered, writing desk as an altar. Talk about falter, I change up every quarter. Energy through the ether. I said energy through the ether. I'm the last airbender. I seek peace, a peacekeeper. I speak deep. Sometimes my speech sounds like I preach. I'm no preacher. I learned to dig deep when I breathe and breathe deeper. I held breath. I accept I still teach the lessons that I learned. Disearn to retreat the way that I'd yearn. Return to repeat the test again so I can seek him and be teacher. So I often ask myself if my fear of disappointments has misled me to accept defaults like who you are versus what I know. How far you fall versus how far you grow. How much you reap from how much you sow, or how far you reach versus how far you grow. I used to wonder if you'd ever show. But I'm always ready to put on a show, never knowing where the things you know would have you in love or leave you alone. I often garner gratitude for what was given as a gift to me. Yet a lot of it's a miss to me. Many near have near missed with me. Near to them I miss with me. So now I say dismiss me please with all that. Because I don't think she's coming back. It's clear to me what's been an act and I won't fall for all these traps. I don't miss what could have been. I don't miss what's meant for me. Many things I thought were meant for me are things no longer meant to be. So please, I don't quarrel when my quill is quantum. And I don't question why my quest is quiet. And I don't query all the ways they quote me. I just know I'm qualified to write. Like, tell me what's your problem. Scratch that. I don't want to add to drafts. Tell me why you're counting. Tell me why you're even here with drafts. In my drafts, I got bars that built up my whole lifeline. Like, if I don't recite them, I might deplete. Left foot forward. Waiting on a techie combo. I'm right knee up. Shaolin palm to your chest. Heavy with that tech and KO. Heavy with that tech and KO. Like heavy with that tech and KO. Like... I'm often trying to live in our own realm, like my own realm. So as much as I'm speaking in a public place, you best believe I do stay selective about who I'm talking around. See. Yes, exactly. I'm honestly trying to lead a simple life in my own dimension. And if I talk for a piece, it's clearly recollection. And if I refer to a higher being, it's because we have a connection, but this negativity is affecting my self-progression. It's all self-reflection. Should I mention that my intention when I vent what I vent is to talk with conviction and release my own tension? That's a fact, right? Day to day for me, sometimes it's like that's an act, right? I'm gonna try to act right, but the only time I'm truly in my right mind is when I'm in my mind right. That's what I find. I find that when I write using my right side, my mind gets right. I get life. I get wide. My perceptions of our deceptions become projections on real life. I said I'm trying to live in my own realm, right? So as much as I'm speaking in a public place, you best believe I stay selective about who I'm talking around. I close my eyes to see signs.
Yes. Come on.
Transcribe a place in my mind on a page in this time. I realign, redefine and refine just to set sights on what I describe as mine. I walk through my ashes, straight through the portal. I am with God, although I am mortal. In this here form, I take form to be thoughtful, just to think back to times I thought we were normal. Lifeless, life left. My body is my hobby, grew in my chest, my quest. I try my best to speak in true form. I swore to show I'm blessed. So I speak from the stars, talk from my heart. I will go far, for my all is my art. I am not far, though we are apart. I am not present, but presently past. Rah, that's a madness. Poetry and rhyme to write off this sadness. I am the light, I do right in this badness. I had to get well, heal hell with this practice. Take action, reactions are the destruction of man. I lose myself just to know who I am. Love with my pen and bend with my plan. In the lowest of lows, I've overstood. I mean, I overstand. If it's all on the line, then I won't go under. I'm God's lightning, I'm his thunder. You can try hide and you can try run, but if you see what I see, you'd see I mix power with pleasure and I see through my mind's eye. I see what I see, but I cannot describe my position, composition coordinates while I navigate through this universe and travel through time. I'm society illiterate, a little belligerent. I taught deliberate, sought for deliverance, fought for intelligence, study both curriculums like algorithms, idioms. I'm more than a bare minimum. I said I come from a place where the women were taken, tortured and raped and impregnated, captive, they'd claim them, sully their names as cycles remained again and again. And then they asked me where I come from. Light like lithium, my mind's my medium, I rise like a premium, then balance equilibrium. I said I'm more than my circumstance. I'm this earth's circumference. I click, glitches through time as I interrupt the meridian line. The concept of time, a concept of mine. I retract, time back to defy the restrictions they gave us, evictions they made us, walk with no shoes in a place where they hate us, despise and berate us, condemn and convict us as convicts and killers with weapons they give us. Tell us we can fly, really got us believing, but they don't warn of the ceiling that limits our dreaming, obstructs our breathing. So how are we supposed to fly when we're down here kneeling? But me, you can find me in the gym, sweating out the sin, trying to find the lessons between the lessons and the gin, working for my win. I've been searching deep within, balancing therein. It's more than yang and yin, more than looking thin, more than all the things that I stored beneath my skin. I went to war with who I'd been, took my thoughts on what I think, what I brought and what I bring, and then it brought me to this brink. YA.